My child, hear my voice now. You are not here by accident. I guided you to this very place through a door that heaven opened only for you. There is something awakening inside your heart that many people cannot recognize, but I see it clearly. And I have chosen this exact moment to speak directly to you. What I am about to tell you is important, and it reaches deep into your spirit. All I ask is that you stay with me until the very end with an open heart, because something has already begun that was prepared especially for you. The breath you are taking right now is the beginning of a new season. This is not just another passing moment. You are standing at the entrance to something I have been arranging long before you realized it. If you walk away now, you could miss what I have been bringing toward you through every chapter of your life. So remain here with me. Let your heart become quiet. Let your spirit receive. I have been beside you through every step you have taken, even through the moments that seemed too heavy to bear. I know every burden you carried. I know the deep weariness resting inside you. But today I will not focus on your troubles. I will not remind you of every hardship. Instead, I want to remind you of something you may no longer see. The quiet strength that has brought you this far. I watched you remain standing when you felt weak. I watched you choose hope while fear was speaking louder. I saw every small act of courage that passed unnoticed by everyone else. You have carried so much, my child, but today is the time to lay it all down. Maybe you have wondered whether I truly hear your voice. Maybe during your quietest nights you questioned if your prayers ever reached me. Listen carefully. I hear every person. I hear the words you speak, and even the ones you cannot express. I hear the sighs rising from the deepest place within you. The ones you believed no one noticed. You were never speaking into emptiness. I heard every one of them. I know there were nights when you hid your tears so others would not be concerned. I know there were days when you smiled while your heart was quietly breaking. I never judged you for that. I simply came closer. I moved gently because your heart was already carrying more than enough. And today I speak to you with my own voice and tell you that I have come to meet you exactly where you are. You may wonder, why today? Why this moment? Why these words? I will tell you. Because you reached the point where you could no longer carry everything by yourself. Your own plans reached their limit. Your strength became weak, and even your faith felt ready to disappear. That is the place where I move. I am never late, my child. I come when everything you depended on has fallen away, so you will know without any doubt that it was my hand that lifted you up. Do you remember the promises you once held close, the ones you believed had ended? Do you remember the dreams you buried, because you no longer saw any sign of them? I have kept every one of them. Nothing ever spoken to me in faith is lost. If you have planted your tears in waiting, now prepare to gather your harvest with joy. Those who sow with tears will return with songs of gladness. And you planted far more than anyone ever knew. You gave even when you had almost nothing left. You chose to love even when love was not returned. None of it was wasted. Every quiet act of faithfulness was remembered, and today I have come to honor it. Your story will not be known because of its suffering. It will be remembered because of what I accomplished through it. Today I remove the words spoken over you during seasons of weakness. The labels that never belonged to you. The judgments that tried to become your identity. From this moment forward, I am writing something new with my own hand. What I am bringing into your life is not small. It is not incomplete, and it will not remain hidden. It will be so clear that even those who once doubted you will recognize that something greater has touched your life. It will be so complete that when you look at yourself, you will no longer see someone weighed down by the past. You will see someone walking in purpose. There is something quiet I want you to understand. Some people stay only at the edge of what I am doing. Others walk fully into it every day. The difference is not chance. It is their willingness to receive, to trust me, and to release what no longer belongs in their lives. You remained faithful while you waited. Now I am inviting you to receive. I know your heart has carried questions you never spoke aloud. I know you have wondered whether your life truly matters, whether anyone sees the hidden battles you fight. My child, I see them. I always have. And today I ask you to put those questions aside and simply receive what I have already prepared for you. Let your spirit become quiet. Open your heart completely, because what comes next will reach the deepest places inside you, the places you believed no one could ever touch. You have stood at places like this before, my child, unsure if the voice leading you forward truly belonged to me. There were times when you hesitated, times when you questioned every step, wondering if the whisper inside your heart was only your imagination. Today that uncertainty comes to an end. My voice is clear, and I am calling you by your name. This is not another ordinary day passing unnoticed. This is a day of decision. The day when the fog begins to disappear, and the path ahead becomes clear. Release the sadness connected to your past. Let go of every word that told you that you were not enough, that you had gone too far, or that your greatest days were already behind you. Those words were never the truth. This is the truth. You are deeply loved. You are chosen. And now is your time to rise. Hold tightly to me, and allow everything else to slip gently from your hands. My beloved child, I entered the deepest place within your heart. The place where even you were afraid to look. The place where you stored broken thoughts, years of disappointment and long seasons of silence. I did not enter to condemn you. I came with kindness. I did not come with questions. I came with answers. I did not come because you cried out loudly. I came because even in your silence your soul was reaching toward me. You cannot imagine how many mornings I watched you sitting there, too tired to pray, too exhausted to find the right words. Yet I still heard you. I do not hear only spoken words. I also hear your sighs. I understand every silence. I saw you hide your tears so others would not worry. I saw you act as though everything was fine while your heart was quietly falling apart. I never turned away from you. I moved even closer. I came gently because your heart was already carrying all it could bear. And today I tell you with my own voice that I entered that place to rescue you. What looked like complete ruin to you was, to me, the ground where I planted the greatest revelation your life would ever know. I was never far away when sorrow rested silently on your heart. I never stepped away when you felt lost without direction. I remained hidden within the silence so I could meet you there with something that would last forever. I am the one who turns every ending into a brand new beginning. I am the one who gathers you from the pieces of broken dreams and gently places a fresh purpose into your hands. You may ask why it did not happen before. Listen carefully. The time had not yet come. If I had answered when you first wanted, you might have believed it happened because of your own strength. You might have thought your own efforts were enough. But now, after so much weariness, after so many roads that seem to lead nowhere, you know that only someone greater than yourself could rewrite this story. And now I am here. I am that presence. I am the one who restores what time tried to take away. I am the voice that changes the conclusions of people and writes a new path over your life with my own hand. No one can stop what I have already begun. No one can stand in the way of what I have released over your home, because when I choose to move, no opposing force can prevent it. You did not realize it, but every disappointment, every delay, every door that remained shut was part of a plan I had not yet shown you. You needed to walk through the uncertainty so you would learn to rely on me. Your pride needed to become quiet, so you could recognize the gentle voice of my spirit. And now that surrender has replaced rushing, and humility has become greater than self-confidence, I can finally place into your hands what I always planned to give you. A promise built not on your strength, but on my faithfulness. I saw you when you almost gave up, when you no longer wanted to ask for anything, when you chose to stop waiting, because waiting itself had become another disappointment. But what you did not know was that while your hope seemed to disappear, my spirit was already moving over your name. You were remembered in heaven. Your name was spoken where destinies are established. You were honored in the silence. And today I have come to reveal what I quietly planted inside you long ago. This is not simply another day. This is not simply another message. This is the day your story begins a new chapter. The pain you carried will have purpose. The rejection you suffered will not remain empty. The unfair treatment you endured will become honor. Because I can redeem what others intended for your harm. What was meant to bring you shame, I will use to lift you higher. Not for revenge, but as a testimony. Not to display your power, but so others will clearly see my hand upon your life. If you are still listening, it is not by accident. Something inside your heart recognizes that this voice is true. Right now I want you to speak something, even if only within your spirit. Say it as a declaration instead of a request. Because what you speak today becomes the seal of what I have already started. Declare your amen if you believe. I do not ask for this because I need to hear your words. I ask because you need to speak them. When you do, something begins to move in places your eyes cannot see, places where chains have remained for far too long. When you declare it, you are not following a ritual. You are opening a door. And to those who open that door with humble hearts, I answer with abundance. For a long time you have carried a quiet feeling that perhaps you had been forgotten, that your opportunities had already passed you by. But hear me now. What looked like delay was really a season of preparation. Nothing along your path has been without purpose. Every step you took, every obstacle you faced, every person who walked away has brought you closer to this very moment. And I want you to understand this without any doubt. Your past has no authority over your life unless you allow it. Your future is calling you forward, and I have already begun preparing good things for you. I know everything you have lost. I know every desire that never became reality. I know the dreams that collapsed and the people who left without a reason. I know it did not seem fair. But it was necessary because while you were building on uncertain ground, I was laying a firm foundation beneath your feet. While you searched for comfort, I was preparing something much deeper, something that would remain steady when everything around you changes. What you lost cannot compare with what I am about to place into your hands. My child, I know there were seasons when you believed the storm had come to destroy you. I know there were moments when everything around you seemed to be falling apart. People drifted away. Doors that once welcomed you became closed. Time itself seemed to stand still, and you asked, "Where are you? Why are you not acting?" But while your eyes saw confusion, I saw purpose. I did not send that storm to punish you. I allowed it so you could truly know who I am. Even in the middle of everything you could not understand, I remained beside you through every shaking moment. I kept your life secure even when you believed you would not survive. And though you never realized it, every wave had limits that I established. You were never beyond my reach. I allowed you to pass through that trial, not so I could watch you fall, but so you could discover my faithfulness. I allowed you to walk through the fire, not to destroy you, but to refine you. I allowed you to walk through the valley, not to break you, but to teach you that my presence remains with you even there. So even in the shadow of loss, you would not need to fear because I am with you. That was never abandonment. It was preparation. What appeared to be an ending was actually the beginning of a foundation. What felt like punishment was really protection. In the middle of the storm, I was closer than ever before, but I remained quiet because I wanted you to recognize my voice with your heart instead of only your ears. You were waiting for something visible, something immediate, something you could quickly see. But I chose first to work in the hidden places, inside your character, inside your faith, inside your discernment, inside your dependence on me. Before I changed what surrounded you, I wanted to transform what was within you. And I did, even if you could not see it happening. Even while you believed you were only surviving, I was shaping your life. Today you can look back and realize you are no longer the same person. There are wounds that no longer rule your choices. There are words that no longer wound you as deeply as before. There are prayers that now rise with stronger faith. That is the proof the storm did not overcome you. It made you stronger. I know everything you lost. I know the hopes that never came to pass. I know the plans that fell apart. I know the people who walked away without explanation. And I know it was painful. But it was necessary because, while you were building on shifting ground, I was preparing a firm foundation. While you searched for comfort, I was preparing purpose. You wanted stability, but I planned something even greater. You were asking for relief, but I was leading you toward your calling. Now you understand that what you lost cannot compare with what I am ready to give you. The storm was only the doorway. Now comes revelation. After the wind comes my voice. After the fire comes direction. After the shaking comes my presence. And now I am opening your eyes so you can recognize what you could not see while you were crying. I am revealing the treasure that remained after every test. I am breathing over the ashes so new life can begin. I am strengthening your weary feet so you can move forward again. But this time you will not walk by yourself. You will walk in step with me, beneath my promise, beneath my protection. Because everything you survived had a purpose. It is proof that my hand has never left you. I never act without purpose. Everything I allowed into your life, even the most painful moments, will be used for your good. All things work together for good for those who love me. Yes, my child. Even the things you cannot explain. Even the things that caused you pain. Even the things that made your faith shake. There is nothing you have faced that I cannot turn into something beautiful. There is not one tear you shed that will not become a stream of blessing. There is nothing you lost that does not fit into the greater work I am completing within you. I preserved you. I formed you. And now I am placing you where you belong. The time has come to rise, to stop staring at what is past, and to begin watching what is ahead. You were chosen for a purpose before your very first breath. That is why the battles were so intense. That is why there were times you felt unnoticed, unneeded, and easily forgotten. But you have never been unseen by me. You were created not to repeat yesterday's story, but to begin a new one. And now I lift you. I call you. I cleanse you. I cover you, and I send you forward. Because this is not only about bringing peace to your heart. It is about awakening what I placed inside you from the beginning. So open your spirit. Do not resist. Do not overthink. Simply receive. Because what I am giving you was prepared long before this moment arrived. Even while you are listening, my power is moving in the places where you suffered the deepest wounds. You do not have to understand everything before you trust me. You only need to surrender. And if you do that today, you will witness things you never even imagined asking for. I will amaze you because just as the heavens stand far above the earth, my ways stand far above your thoughts. And I never change. Today I tell you that I am rescuing you with something so great that the pain of your past will seem small beside the glory I am about to reveal. While you believed everything was coming to an end, I was already writing a new beginning. While you believed the cycle of pain would be your final story, I was already preparing a way that no one could have imagined. I never ignored your weariness. I never overlooked your tears. I gathered every one of them like precious seed. And now, in this holy moment as your soul listens, I tell you with confidence that what looked like your downfall was only the ground where I planted the greatest turning point of your life. My child, I have watched the patterns that kept repeating in your life. The ones that seemed impossible to explain. The emotional setbacks, the repeated losses, the same struggles returning again and again. You believed that was simply who you were. You believed your life would always remain that way. But it was never meant to be. It was an unseen barrier that needed to be broken. And today, with complete authority, I say enough. Today the cycle ends. Today, the chain is broken. Today, the door closes on everything that kept entering through old openings because I am building walls of protection around you. I am covering your name, your family, and your home. Nothing can harm what I have already claimed as mine. What kept repeating through your family line, I am ending today. I declare that you now stand under a new covenant established not by human promises, not by weak words, but by my own faithfulness. I am restoring what came before you. Every structure built to stop your growth is being torn down by my presence. Every word spoken against your future is falling powerless to the ground. Every false promise that tried to control you is now being exposed for what it truly was. Today I bring you light, understanding, and spiritual wisdom because I want you to walk in freedom. But I also want you alert, steady, aware, and firmly rooted in what is true. I am removing not only what can be seen, but also what has been working quietly in hidden places, bringing understanding where confusion once ruled. And with that understanding comes a peace that does not depend on circumstances but on my voice within your heart. Do not be afraid if some people fail to understand what I am doing in your life. When my hand begins to move, some people will step away. Not because you have failed, but because not everyone is ready to walk in the freedom I am giving you. Do not cling to what I always intended you to release. I am shutting certain doors, making room in certain places, and changing who walks beside you. Some people were sent as blessings. Others quietly became burdens. Now your eyes will see clearly, and when they do, do not hesitate. This new season calls for purity, healthy separation, and a peaceful heart. What you lost during the storm was never the end of your purpose. It was only what needed to fall away, so you could receive what truly belongs to you. Today I have come to restore something that pain caused you to forget. I have come to place back into your hand the key you dropped while you were crying. I have come to reopen the place inside you that closed because of disappointment, frustration, and the long weariness of waiting without seeing results. I do not come with mere ideas. I come with purpose. I do not come with simple encouragement. I come with an eternal calling. There is something inside you that has not yet fully awakened. And today, with both authority and love, I say, rise and receive it. You learned how to survive. But I did not create you only to survive. I called you to reign. I saw the moment you buried your dreams with your own hands. I heard you say, "This is not meant for me," and you accepted a life much smaller than the one I designed for you. But today I tell you that you were never created to remain hidden. Even if you gave up, I never withdrew my promise. What I declared over your life does not depend on your feelings. It depends on my word. I am the one who brings into existence what has not yet appeared. And if I have spoken it over your life, nothing can cancel it. Today your breath is restored. Today the strength you believed was gone returns to you. Today the part of you that once dreamed without fear comes alive again, because while people only see the surface, I see the seed, and that seed is still alive even after years beneath disappointment. I am breathing over it now, and it will grow again because I created you to bear fruit. And I never leave fruitless what I have touched. My gifts and my calling over your life never change. You never lost your calling. It was simply waiting for the right season to awaken again. If these words are stirring your heart, do not let this moment pass without responding. Speak from your heart now with simple faith. Declare your readiness if you believe. I am not bringing healing into your life, only so you can enjoy peace. I am bringing healing so you can keep moving ahead. So you can create. So you can guide others. So you can become someone who helps those around you rise. Because what is beginning now is not only for your benefit. It is also for what your life will pour into others through everything you have experienced. What once filled you with shame will become a place to build from. What once remained silent will become a testimony. What once felt like a delay will become forward movement. And today I speak this over you with my own voice. I am not simply restoring what disappeared. I am placing something fresh into your hands. something that does not come from yesterday, something beyond what you have imagined. I make everything new. And that promise includes you. Stop telling yourself it is too late, or that you have nothing left to give, because my spirit within you is saying the opposite. I knew you before you were formed. I chose you before you knew how to call on me. I placed my mark upon you even when the world passed you by. And now I am calling you because your appointed time has arrived. Your season has begun, and what once looked burned out will shine again like a flame that will not be put out. The season of silent waiting has come to an end. I watched you endure without answers, serve without recognition, give while receiving nothing back, and feel unseen among many people. But being unseen was never neglect. It was my protection, my shelter until the right moment came to bring you forward with honor. That moment is here. The days of being overlooked are making room for days when people will remember what I have done through your life. You strengthened many who never strengthened you in return. Many were judged by others who never understood the purpose behind their journey. Many appeared to be standing still when they were actually being shaped in secret, hidden from every eye except mine. What I planted inside your soul, what I nurtured within your spirit, what I strengthened while others had already dismissed you, is now ready to bloom with power. I never forget the one who stays. I never ignore the one who waits with faith. And you, my child, remained without demanding conditions. You cried in silence, but bitterness never took hold of you. You were hurt, but you did not answer hurt with hurt. You fell down, but you stood back up. That is why these words have found you today. You have entered a season where honor will be seen openly. What you did where no one noticed will now be rewarded where people can see it. Doors that stayed closed before will begin to respond when you speak. Those who once overlooked you will begin to seek the wisdom I placed within you, because what I declare, I always fulfill. Humble yourselves under my hand so that I may lift you up in due time. That due time is now. The time you waited for, cried for, and held on through. No more walking unnoticed in the spirit. No more remaining in the shadows. Today I place my favor upon you. Today I surround you with my light. But this honor is not meant to make you proud. It carries a purpose. I am raising you so you can raise others. I am calling you so you can call others. I am revealing myself to you, so that through your life others will come to see me. What I am doing in your life reaches far beyond you. It will touch generations. You are breaking patterns that shaped your family for many years, ending cycles of frustration, of being forgotten, of inherited heaviness. And you are doing it through my strength, not your own. Every step you made was counted. Every quiet yes you whispered while you were hurting was written before me. And now heaven announces a new season over your life. People will wonder how it happened. Why you? Why now? And deep inside you will know it was not wisdom, not influence, not human effort. It was my hand, my grace, my justice. Because you stayed with me when everything around you urged you to walk away. Because you said, even if I cannot understand, I will continue to believe. And that trust is now opening heaven over your life. From the earliest days recorded in my word, trust has always been shown in a holy way, by placing something valuable into my hands, as a sign that the heart no longer depends on its own resources. This is not about giving something up. It is about an exchange. It is about showing through one simple and intentional act that what you hold is less important than what I can accomplish. My child, I ask you to place a meaningful portion of what you have upon the altar of this work. Let it become a seed planted in deep waters, an offering laid upon the stone, not held back because of fear. This is the evidence that your confidence rests in me as your provider, and that your heart is no longer held captive by lack. What you release with faith never leaves your life. It goes before you into the harvest I have already prepared. When you take this step, doors that once seemed sealed like iron will begin to open. A path will appear where you once saw only emptiness. You will no longer walk in darkness, because your life will become a dwelling place for my presence, and what sustains you will never fail. This act of surrender opens the way to what I have already stored up for you. But before anything else, let this truth become firmly rooted in your heart. What I do within you is never about one single act. It is about a relationship that grows deeper, a trust that becomes stronger, a life that learns to depend completely on me, not only in seasons of need but also in seasons of plenty. Some people seek me only while they are in the wilderness and slowly drift away after reaching the land I prepared for them. I do not desire that distance from you. I want you nearer, not farther away. I want your heart full of gratitude, fully surrendered, praising me even more deeply than when you cried to me in your darkest season. Because what I am preparing to do in your life will also become a witness for others. People who watched your struggle, who saw you continue believing without understanding why, will see that your faith was worthwhile. They will see that I never forget those who wait upon me. And your life will become living proof that trusting me is never wasted. Do not think of what is coming as only one moment. It is the beginning of a new chapter. It is the key that unlocks other parts of your life. What is being restored now will make room for more restoration, more healing, and more doors opening ahead. Because I work by joining things together. I connect what looked unrelated. I bind together what seemed broken. I weave eternal purpose through the loose ends you once saw. If you remain watchful, you will see everything begin to fall into place. Then you will know with certainty that I was there from the beginning, through every step, in every answer, through every season of waiting, and in everything still ahead. This is not only for you. What I am releasing into your life will become a seed planted through you, reaching those who are still waiting for their own moment of change. They will look at your life and hope will rise inside them again. They will hear your story, and something deep within their hearts will begin to believe once more. My child, never think that I failed to notice. Never believe that your pain escaped my eyes. I saw every hurtful word spoken about you when no one else was around. I saw every act of love and kindness you gave that seemed to receive only emptiness in return. I was with you when you placed your trust in someone, and that trust was broken. I was there when you opened your heart, and were met with distance instead of love. I know every time you promised yourself you would never cry over the same hurt again, yet the pain remained. That was never because you failed. It was never because you were weak. It was part of a journey that I, your Creator, am now restoring. I have seen not only what happened to you, but also what it left inside you. The quiet belief that somehow you were not enough. The fear of opening your heart again. The feeling that perhaps you would never completely trust another person. But today I tell you clearly that wound will not define who you are. That rejection will not become the ending of your story. You were treated as if you had little value. As if your place could easily be filled by someone else. You offered warmth, yet coldness came back to you. But today I speak over your life with certainty. Heaven never overlooked you. I never left you behind. Even while the world failed to honor you, heaven had already spoken restoration over your life. Because I heal not only the wounds people can see, but also the ones that quietly bleed within. Right now my hand is reaching into the memories that still bring pain. I am entering those places marked by betrayal, rejection, and the feeling of being made small. If something begins to rise inside you while you hear these words, do not force it back down. Allow it to come forward, because what comes forward today is what I am preparing to heal. From the deepest place within your heart, speak honestly to me now. Declare your trust if you believe. This is not simply a moment of encouragement. This is a moment of awakening. You are not listening to these words by accident. You are hearing them because I chose you. And with that choosing comes direction, support, and fulfillment. You are stepping into days where what you waited years to receive will begin arriving without the struggle that once followed you. Because I have already opened the way. My favor is already resting upon your life. And I want to tell you something else. Do not be afraid when certain people walk away. Some cannot go where I am leading you. So do not try to keep holding them. Their assignment in your life has reached its end. I will bring new relationships. People who will value you without control. Partnerships built on honesty. Support that comes from a sincere heart. Because this season has been set apart, and I will not allow what does not belong there to remain. You now live under my covering, and what I protect cannot be touched. Prepare yourself, my child, because what is coming will not be postponed any longer. And when it arrives, you will understand it was never about your own strength. It was always about your faithfulness. Even when staying faithful seemed to cost you everything and give nothing back, you remained. You kept believing. And that is what I am answering now. What you are about to receive is more than an answer. It is a sign. It is greater than the solution you asked me for. It is proof that I am with you. That my hand is upon your life, and that heaven has never stopped watching over your story. What I will do in these coming days will go beyond ordinary explanation. It will be so clear and so far beyond natural expectation that even you will say, only God could have done this. And you will be right, not to show your strength, but to reveal my faithfulness. Not so you can boast about yourself, but so you can speak about my goodness. This blessing is not meant for you alone. It is a key that opens doors for those you love, for generations after you, and for paths you cannot yet see. I held it back. Not because I wanted to keep it from you, but because your heart was still being prepared to receive it. I do not give promises to become trophies. I give them to shape destinies. And your destiny has been quietly taking form. Even while you believed nothing was changing. Even when everything seemed still, my hand was working behind what you could not see. I was the one holding your faith together, when weariness tried to put it out. I was the one placing words on your lips, when you no longer knew how to pray. I was the one causing hope to rise again, when you no longer wanted to wait. And now I come as the one who completes every promise I make. The one who is never late and who honors those who continue to endure. Many people will watch what I am doing in your life and stand amazed. Some will not understand why it happened for you. Others will search for natural explanations. But you will know this came directly from me, because what opened before you was never earned. It was given through grace. When others declared it impossible, I revealed that nothing is impossible for me. When you believed it was too late, I reminded you that time belongs to me. And when you thought you had been forgotten, I opened a door no one expected. Do not fear if what is coming is greater than what you requested. Do not be afraid if it reaches parts of your life you never expected it to touch. Because when I begin a work I complete it. I cleanse what has become unclean. I bring order where confusion ruled. I restore what seemed to be dying. This is more than a reward. It is an invitation to trust me more deeply, to surrender more fully, and to walk beside me not only through the wilderness, but also in the place where I am leading you. My child, this is no longer a promise waiting somewhere in the distance. Today I tell you that the miracle has already been released. What I am doing in your life will change everything for your good. This will not be a passing comfort. It will not be a temporary change. It will become a complete restoration reaching your mind, your spirit, your surroundings, your home, and your entire story. I did not come only to calm your pain. I came to restore you from the deepest root. I came to give you a fresh beginning built upon a foundation that will never be shaken again. I am the one who makes a path through the wilderness and brings rivers into dry places. I am the one who accomplishes what seems impossible, and I do it in a way that leaves no doubt that it was my hand alone. I held you when no one else understood. I protected you in secret while everything inside you seemed to be falling apart. You believed you were only making it through, but I was rebuilding your life, laying each foundation with patience and everlasting purpose. I showed you my faithfulness even on the days when you questioned yourself. And now I speak to you with authority. You no longer need to plead for what I have already declared. Simply believe. Simply open your heart, because the miracle does not depend on your strength. It rests on my word, and my word never fails. This is the day your faith receives its answer. Not because of feelings, but because the promise is being fulfilled. Because you remained faithful in the small things. Now what is greater is arriving. Because you did not walk away when everything urged you to quit. Because you continued to trust even through the silence. And now that trust receives its reward. Heaven rejoiced over your endurance. What I begin today reaches far beyond one area of your life. I am restoring every place that remained stuck. I am bringing back into order what wandered away. I am purifying what had become unclean. I am bringing back what seemed gone because my love for you never changes, never grows weary, and never forgets. I did not come because of a passing feeling. I came because of everlasting love. I came because even in your brokenness, you still belonged to me. I came because even after you stumbled, you continued holding on to my hand. I came because whatever I begin, I also bring to completion. This miracle carries the power to change the very atmosphere surrounding your life. You will feel lighter, clearer, and stronger because I am removing a burden from your spirit that you carried without even knowing it. I am lifting the veil that kept your understanding clouded. I am giving back your ability to dream without fear. And I tell you with certainty, you will not walk with your head lowered again. You will not allow yesterday to direct your choices again. What I have healed will remain healed. What I have broken apart will not be rebuilt. What I have restored, no one will tear down. And if anyone asks how your life changed so completely, you will answer with the truth. It was the Lord. My beloved child, do not be afraid, do not doubt, and do not turn back. What I am building in your life today is the beginning of a new story, one that we will continue to write together. What is ahead will not simply resemble what came before. It will be glory upon glory, promise upon promise, and victory over every wound. Because I am your God, and my work in your life is not finished. It is only entering its most beautiful season. Tonight, something beyond human explanation can enter your life in ways you never expected. The path before you is opening now, and your part is simply to walk through it with me. Let your spirit become still in this truth. You are not defined by everything that happened to you. You are living proof of what I can do with a heart that fully surrenders. So keep walking in faith. Speak with confidence. Declare what you have received, because what began with struggle will finish in victory, and what began with tears will become a song. This restoring work is not only for your life, it is also for those who come after you. The legacy you leave will be one of freedom. Not chains, but honor. Not shame, but glory. Not guilt. Because this is what I have declared. And no one can overturn what I declare. Listen carefully in this final moment. I have never been far from you. I speak to you right where you are, in the quiet you once believed held nothing. Silence has never been proof that I was absent. More often it is the place I prepare so you can hear my voice more clearly. As this truth settles inside you, the things that once confused you will become reminders along your path. The things that once caused hesitation will now confirm that I have always been with you. From this understanding, the way you live, the way you speak, and the way you carry yourself will all begin to change. Not because you are becoming another person, but because you are finally living as the one I created you to be. Rest more deeply in me, my beloved. Within that rest, I am changing the way you see yourself. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You have not wandered away from my plan. You are being led to the very place where you awaken to my purpose. And when you look back over this journey, you will realize that every step, even the ones you questioned, brought you to this place where my purpose and your spirit come together. Carry these words with you. Let them settle into the deepest places of your heart. Do not let this become only a passing moment. Let it become the beginning of a life where you no longer search for my voice, because you live daily within its presence. I am with you now. I was with you before, and I will remain with you through everything still ahead. Walk forward without fear, because the morning has arrived, and its light will not fade. Declare your amen, for this word is yours. We run on viewer support only. For exclusive member-only content, scan the QR or see the pinned comment. God bless you.